By the way, does Dean know that we're doing this?
I think so. He might.
He might?
Don't quote me on it.
I'm sorry, I just need to...
So I'll just...
I need to go to therapy.
I'll hang out here.
We're 3 minutes into the recording and I'm already...
You've already started crying?
Yeah.
My work here's done.
Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. If you're watching this, chances are you already saw my Season 4 review of Dragons: The Nine Realms. If you haven't seen that, please go look at it. I'm here once again with Richard Hamilton, and we're here to announce the winners of the #ShirtlessHiccup competition. I am so excited.
Hooray! I'm very excited. We're giving out prizes. We're looking at amazing art, and we've got more shirtless Hiccup than you could shake a prosthetic leg at. So, what's not to be excited about?
Exactly. Just a disclaimer though, we're not here judging the art style or quality itself. We're here judging how well it fits into the universe and how well it could be a part of the universe. So don't be bullying any of the entries in the comments because they had the balls to submit and you didn't. Big
Props to everyone who kind of stuck their neck out there and put their artwork out. I thought all the entries were fantastic in their own ways. I've always said this, and I still believe it, the How to Train Your Dragon fans are the most passionate, most talented, most overall positive and like encouraging group. And so this weird little competition of ours was no exception to that. And super proud of all you guys, super proud to be part of this franchise. And, you know, we came out of it with some beautiful artwork. So win-win.
Hey. Hi there. Before you break out the lavender-scented moisturizing lotion, I am here to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Because the only thing more unbelievable than making your rendition of Shirtless Hiccup canon is the fact that a business paid me money to promote them in this video. And I have to say, with this fan competition in play, if my personal data were to be breached due to some sketchy program, I would have a lot of explaining to do.
I'm imagining if like your computer ever got confiscated as part of some sort of FBI raid, what they would think. Oh my God.
But with Aura's antivirus software, I'm instantly notified the second suspicious activity is detected on my PC. Aura provides unmatched protection from identity theft and security breaches of your info across the web, which also means preventing data brokers from using your personal information and offering password monitoring to keep your accounts safe and secure, even on the dark web. Dude, this is dark web. I will never not do that. And using my link in the description, Aura is offering a 2-week free trial of their services. That's aura.com/Audrey. Weird spelling of the name and everything. And when you decide to check out the service for yourself, let me know in the comments how Aura worked for you. And thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now, back to whatever this video is supposed to be. What? So first we're gonna go into the line drawings and sketches, which we've very loosely divided these into categories. I know some might fall into the gray area, but I did my best. So this first one is from Hiccup, You Little Artist. I actually really enjoy this one because it has a very personal touch in it, and that's kind of the beauty of fan art, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I also really love Hiccup's attitude here, kind of defiant, kind of smart alecky, and just think this artist did a great job channeling Hiccup's spirit.
Hiccup invented sarcasm, I think we can all agree. And this was also the very first entry in the entire competition, so props to you for sure. This is from Alex Luna, and okay, this is just gonna be the start of what I like to call the Chad Hiccups. You guys seem to think that Hiccup is like this big, macho, muscular dude, and it's beautiful, but I'm just saying.
I think if we had done the Fire Tides comic, maybe Hiccup wouldn't have been quite this ripped, but I appreciate it. I love the scar, the kind of dragon slash scars, and of course the tattoo.
Yes.
And again, kind of like a nice glower in Hiccup's eyes there. I wouldn't mess with this one, so.
He kind of looks like an anime character here, and I'm digging
Definitely.
it. This next one is from Zephyrin Haddock. I like what you did there. I love this because they made the tattoo like a full chest piece.
Yes, it is super cool. It's giving me a little bit of Batman vibes, which of course I love. So I think as far as like, you know, tattoo designs go, this is a really, really strong interpretation. Very pleasant looking Hiccup.
Yeah, sorry if I'm looking around. There's a fly in my room, and I feel like Walter White right now, trying to get it out of the shot, but it just keeps like flying in my face. This next one is from Yuval Green, who's a patron of mine. Thank you very much. This is awesome because he added Toothless in it also.
Yes, I really appreciate sort of the extra credit assignment there of throwing a Toothless in. Toothless is a notoriously difficult dragon to draw, and I think this is a really fun interpretation. So great job, Yuval.
This one is from Alex Luna. Again, it's like a colored kind of different version from the one that we saw before.
Yeah, I really like Hiccup's haughty laugh here. And, nice job with the colors. That dragon wound seems like it's still pretty fresh and actively bleeding. So the fact that Hiccup can laugh in the face of such horrendous pain, good on him. Good entry.
All right. Again with the Chad hiccups, you guys. What do you think this man is taking? Steroids?
He invented those too. Sarcasm, anabolic steroids, and fire swords.
This one is from Mims, and I do like the face in this one.
Nice job with the eyes. The eyebrows are very expressive. Definitely kind of got like the sort of the DreamWorks signature smirk going on there. So great job, Mims.
That's actually a meme now, like the DreamWorks look, where it's just like
yes,
a sneer.
Yeah. Little fun fact: when How to Train Your Dragon 1 was coming out, the initial one sheets were kind of, the posters to go to the theaters were not really like to the filmmaking teams. They didn't like them. I'll just be honest with it. And our marketing team at DreamWorks at the time, they just were kind of treating How to Train Your Dragon like every other DreamWorks movie. And the kind of the key leadership in the studio and the filmmakers were like, well, those other movies are great, but How to Train Your Dragon is like very different than, say, Madagascar or Shrek, right? And so we ultimately wound up with the really nice poster that Chris and Dean designed, which is like the forbidden friendship moment with Hiccup's hand and to the snout. And then when the DVD came out, DreamWorks ruined it again with a really ridiculous poster with Hiccup flying on Toothless and his arm looks like it's made of spaghetti. Whatever. To help illustrate their argument, the Dragons, I think it was the Dragons filmmaking team, got every DreamWorks poster up until that point, and with Photoshop just put them in layers, and you could see they all kind of had the characters in the same pose with the same cocky DreamWorks smirk. So it was a meme within the studio before it was a meme out in the wild.
That's perfect. Oh, man.
And nostalgia.
This one's from Novelty, and it is a very gray-washed version of What You Say Happens in the Fire Tides, and I think it's super cool looking.
This one is beautiful. Really love Toothless's pose here, and I really like what Hiccup is doing in the moment. It really seems like he's kind of girding himself for the battle with Drago to come. And just nice details with the stalactites and the water dripping off of them. I see a lot of thought and care went into this one, and I really appreciate it. So great job, Novelty. Really great job.
This one is from Tooth is Eternal, and it is Hiccup in a super awesome action pose, which technically he's shirtless, technically not. He's still wearing his armor, but I think it looks cool.
I do too. I really love Hiccup's attitude here. It looks like he's ready to go to battle with Drago. And this artist has done something kind of interesting where I agree it's not technically shirtless, but you see that Hiccup has kind of repurposed bits of his flight suit, which we can imagine some of it survived. Him being pulled down into the sunken city. So just a really nice rendering style. I really like this artist's, just their style. So hope to see more from this person in the future. Really cool.
It's very unique, and I think it worked really well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I enjoyed the most out of this whole process, was just seeing all the artists lending their own personality to it and their own interpretations. And I think it's really fun as like someone who's worked on the franchise to see that. It's really fun as a fan, and I think it's like just a nice testament to the designs of the original characters in the first place, that they could be reinterpreted in so many different styles. In this, in grayscale, in some of the anime style entries, they really work. So very cool.
This one is from Roman Joe 1997. And it's Hiccup doing the DreamWorks smirk like we were just talking about, and he's also a Chad, but I actually really love what they did with the line work in this one, kind of using the negative space and filling it with blue. I think it looks awesome.
Definitely really nice tone work here. And I also just want to say this artist did something which is very difficult to do, which we learned in the making of the comics, which is how do you take the 3D modeled and rendered characters from our movies and TV shows and make them work on a 2D medium like comics. It is not as easy as any of us thought, and it took a lot of trial and error. And it's kind of amazing to see Roman Joe 1997 nail it. on this one. So really fine job here.
And this one is from the one and only Leffy, and if you are familiar with the Dragons fandom, you will know her and her sister have been contributing to the fan art for years. I know she was really kicking herself over this one because she did it extremely rushed and she accidentally put Hiccup with both legs. But the issue aside, I think it perfectly captures her art style, and I really love what she did with it, including the Astrid at the top right.
Yeah, if I just kind of hold my thumb over the screen and cover the one leg, it's perfect. And I really love the addition of the dragon wing tattoos on the back. I think I'd seen maybe one or two other submissions that had a similar idea, but it's just that was a really fun, unexpected treat for me. And just the line work, the little blushing under the eyes and the nose, this is super duper cute, which it's kind of fun to imagine the Fire Tides, which was kind of a gritty, heavy action adventure thing. I can't even imagine if it were drawn in this style. I think it would work, but it'd be pretty cool just to see it as an experiment. But great job, Leffy.
It does kind of remind me of the Riders of Burt comics, because I know they did the Riders of Burt comics and they also did like spin-off versions of those comics even that were more aimed towards younger kids, so it kind of reminds me of that style. No,
definitely. Again, like that's one of the strengths of the character designs. They could be reinterpreted in different styles, but also for different age ranges. There's just something really fun and universal about this style. I wish we had art like this back when I was working in franchise at DreamWorks, because everyone was trying to make cool, not just toys, but consumer products like clothing and backpacks. And man, I would love to have made a line of t-shirts for kids or even grown-ups with this art style. I think, I've never seen any of Leffy's sequential work. I don't know if they have any, but I would just say this style is really cool. And if Leffy wants to pursue a career in comics, I think they will do very well in that industry.
You heard the man. I know you're going to watch this. Moving on, we have... What is that name? Apicordis? I hope I said that right. I'm gonna feel really stupid if I didn't. But we have another Chad Hiccup, and we have more tattoos on this one, which I really enjoy. And pastels, is that what it's called?
It looks like pastels, yeah, which is a really difficult medium to work in. But I think Apicordez, however you say it, has really acquitted themselves nicely. Really great detail work on the prosthetic, and this is someone who's clearly studied the designs of Hiccup's suit. And I also really like kind of the repeat of the kind of the dragon head motif that's usually on Hiccup's suit, that he also has it tattooed on his arm. I thought that was a neat idea. And great work here. I also love the little guy holding the spear under the lightning bolt.
Yeah, I think those are meant to like represent where he got the scars from, because they're pointing towards different parts of his body. So the first one is like the first movie when he's falling, and the second one would be in When Lightning Strikes, whenever he's holding the metal stick and he gets struck by lightning, which is awesome.
Thank you for explaining that. That is awesome. I love it even more now.
Yes.
Really, it's just so cool to see like all the thought that everyone put into this. It really is very gratifying from my vantage point to see that. You guys are the best.
This one is from AJP, and the caption is "Just take my trash." It is not trash. It's lovely because you took the time to draw it, so thank you.
One person's trash is another's treasure, and I think there's a lot to love in this drawing. I like the bite marks on I guess it's the left arm. There's some nice coloring going on here, and I sort of like the sort of the sternness in Hiccup's facial expression here. It seems like he's kind of weighing some options that he doesn't really love, but he knows he's gonna have to do something. So really, really fine work.
He has that look a lot in Race to the Edge, just like the
little
the glare.
yeah. And I think we see some freckles on there, which I also really appreciate.
Yeah, those kind of disappeared once he hit puberty.
Yep.
So
if only that happened in real life.
The next one is from the Kanga Wizard. Made my first Twitter post just to support the #shirtless Hiccup cause. Thank you so much. There's no face on this one, but I love the outline. The style is solid. I love the creativity of the tattoo. Like, they didn't just put the runes, they put it like part of a joint piece almost onto the shoulder, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah, I know. I feel like this is almost like a subjective test, like a Rorschach test. And if I look at it one way, it's Hiccup, but if I look at it another way, it's my grandmother or something. I don't know. Love the tattoo design here. The body is really muscular without maybe going into Chad territory. He sure is wearing those pants low. I don't know if
we're back in the 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, little hip huggers there. I think standards and practices might have had an issue with that, but we don't care about them. We're making comic book art here.
Yes.
Really cool. I just like a very different type of entry and really nicely colored and composed. I just the comment about joining Twitter just for this, I think we had a lot of entrants doing the same thing. And isn't our timing terrible that we held this contest on Twitter when it's even more of a hellscape than usual. Sorry, we didn't know. We didn't know.
And this one is from
Octoghoul.
Octoghoul. Don't mind the hands because they don't exist in the head. Actually, just watch the body. It's the most important thing in this contest, right? Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, if you say so.
I really appreciate again, the scars, the tattoo is there. He has kind of the DreamWorks smirk going on anyways, which I know it's a meme, but I do appreciate that.
This is another really fun entry into the contest. I love that how this entry and some of the others have just shown, like, it's not just one or two scars Hiccup got. Like you can see he has suffered some real abuse in pursuit of his dream of uniting Vikings and dragons across the world, and he has a lot of fun out there, but there's also a lot of peril.
If only we get to see it in an actual comic someday, right?
If only. Never say never.
Now we're going to transition into the detailed drawings. And the first one we have here, this one's from Real Person at Def Not Terrell. I thought that was going to turn into Def Not a Real Person, and I was going to laugh because that was a clever handle, but now I just look really stupid. Anyways, very goofy submission. Yeah, this one is indeed goofy. A lot of things are going through my head right now, but I'm not going to say them out loud.
I think this one is super fun, and it tells a whole story. I know what the bleeding nose means, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Very naughty, Real Person, but I like it. Good job.
But yeah, we have the scars, and we have Hiccup in the back looking very confused. I appreciate the effort to tell a whole story within this. Thank you. It does make me laugh. Not because it looks bad, just because I think you intended it to make people laugh. So yeah, thanks.
It's adorable.
The next one is from Shiny Fluff Palms Dragonair. I don't know where you guys come up with this stuff, the names.
The names are almost as good as the art. Almost.
Yes. Here we have yet another full chest piece. I really appreciate you guys always adding Toothless into the tattoos, because that would also be something Hiccup would do.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a really fun, very unique style. I like seeing Hiccup limbering up before a battle here. And very cool tattoo design, so nice job.
This next one is from Initas and Nut. Okay, here for the shirtless Hiccup competition. Had some fun with this. Thank you. I'm really glad that you submitted. I do enjoy the scars in this one.
Yeah, I do too. This is also a pretty tough pose to nail, but I think Anitas did a really fine job of it. I also like sort of I think it's sort of some water texture above there, which is a nice callback to the underwater settings of the Fire Tides. So really good job here. Hiccup looks very at peace.
I don't know if at peace would be the best way to describe him when he's about to almost die at the hands of Drago, but... Well,
this is probably Drago has knocked him unconscious and he's having a very pleasant dream about being with Astrid on some sunlit field or something.
If someone had actually drawn that and submitted it, I'm sorry, but you're the winner. The next one is from Chester Moore, Hiccup Rindus Haddock III, and... The fucking fly keeps flying in my ear, and I want to smash my desk in half.
I don't see any fly, and I don't hear any fly, so I just...
Maybe I'm just losing.
Okay, Audrey. So this is another really appealing manga-esque interpretation. I think it's really fun. It's got the tattoo. It's got the scars. Good job, Chester Moore.
By the way, they said, I don't think my art style is well-suited. Every art style is well-suited. That's why we did this. We wanted to see you guys get creative, and you most certainly did. So thank you, Chester.
Yeah, and I especially appreciate the entries that are in a very different signature style than we typically get in the franchise. So really, really good stuff here.
The next one is from Ambistoma the artist. I'm like losing it over here, guys. I'm gonna try to pull it together. I really like the shading and like the shadows in this one. We have Inferno.
And I'm really glad that the Dragon Blade is in this because he's using, or I'm sorry, this artist is using it as a light source and did a really great job lighting Hiccup's body off of that. So that's tough to do. Really
you did a
excellent
great
work
job
with the lighting. Yep. Nice entry.
All right, the next one is from Lucas London, and I think this one was supposed to take on a Kylo Ren theme. I have a confession to make. I've never seen a single Star Wars movie in my life.
Boo! Wow. I'm not going to comment on the Star Wars movies and the quality of the prequels versus the originals versus the sequels. I think
you can. I won't know what any of it means.
We deal with enough impassioned fans with dragons. We don't need to get into a whole other universe about all that. But to take it back to this entry, although I think this artist has taken some real chances with the depiction of Hiccup, I love all of them. And I really like the color palette because it speaks to something that you can do in comics that you can't really do in mainstream animation anymore, which is doing sort of like abstract coloring to reflect the subjective emotional state of the characters. And so although Hiccup's expression here is a little neutral, just looking at the body language and the color and the red and the kind of the dark purplish blue, it shows me there's a lot going on from emotionally under the surface. So I think this is a very cool entry. Really like this one.
That was very deep, Richard.
Well, thank you. I'm due for one every episode. One deep thought.
This one's from Lil Miss Bacon, my submission for the #Shirtless Hiccup contest. He's doing kind of his trademark Hiccup, like hand in the back of the head type thing. The DreamWorks smirk is going on, but it fits really well. It's almost like they took a frame from Race to the Edge and referenced that. So I think this one looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks very close to on model without feeling light boxed or traced. I think it's a nice easy pose, kind of like a little bit of like a Teen Beat Tiger Magazine vibe going on here, which is not a bad thing. He looks very hunky here, and we see some scars and some burns, and of course the tattoo. And Lil Miss Bacon, real good job.
I'm just trying to imagine Hiccup and Astrid like going through the process of getting these tattoos. Maybe that can be an overarching arc as we go through these, where it's like, what happens to get from point A to point B there? Because I'm sure fans want to know. The next one is from The Winds of Berg. Here's my entry for the #Shirtless Hiccup competition. I hope you like it. After Toothless leaves, I feel like Hiccup would get another tattoo in remembrance of his best bud. That's so sweet. I feel like he would do that too.
I love that idea, and yes, I completely agree. I think that's a really nice way to commemorate the relationships. That's a really, really special thought, Winds of Berg. Thank you for that. And thank you for this entry. Really, really fine detail work on the scars, even kind of shading the skin around it where it's still kind of raw. They look like real scars to me. So really, really fine job. And the fact that Hiccup can still be smiling after taking all this damage says a lot about his character in all the right ways. And you did a fine job of evoking that. Thank you for your entry.
The next one is from Sleeping Stars and another Chad Hiccup, of course. But I do like the background. I do like the background in this a lot.
I feel like I'm seeing Astrid's dream playing out in real time. He's stepping out of the mists, shirtless, with her name tattooed across his rippling chest. Great work with the colors. And this is a nice, slightly different interpretation of Hiccup that really works for me. And I also like the kind of like snickering billy goat in the corner there. I don't know if that's the artist's signature or if Astrid had some bad yak butter before bedtime and she's tripping out, but it all works for me. So great entry.
I love how you're creating like a whole story to go with each of these, and it's perfect. The next one is from Current Sandman brain rot. A year or so after the Great Homecoming, Hiccup contemplates. So this is actually later on after the epilogue, I believe.
Yeah, and I really like it. I don't know if this was intentional or not. The art style reminds me a little bit of Gravity Falls, which is one of my favorite shows, one of my son's favorite shows. And I really love Hiccup's the emotion on his face here. This artist did an excellent job. His eyes look like they're just on the verge of tears, and you really feel sort of the longing and the concern for Toothless. So we don't get the full tattoo, but that's okay, because we're just getting kind of like a nice insight into Hiccup's character in a part of the timeline that we really haven't accessed in the franchise. So really I appreciate the swing on this one. Good job, Current Sandman brain rot.
What a name, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is from Fluffy! Sorry, I had to say it it's in all caps, I had to.
But it's with a question mark, so should it be Fluffy? What's not a question is just how talented Fluffy is. I really like this entry. It's so playful. Love the expression on Hiccup's face and Toothless's face. They look like they're still playing around even when times are tough, and that's a cool thing about their relationship. And I don't know if this was done intentionally or not, but kind of the way the scars line up in this pose, they almost look like a map. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but it made me think of how these guys are two explorers at heart too, and so I it's like bonus points for me for that. And Hiccup's hair looks awesome in this.
Jeez, the maps, the scar. I can leave, Richard, if you want to just take this over, because you're making these amazing stories out of each one.
Can I have a minute? Give me half an hour alone with this one.
This next one is the next one is from Cat. Richard, you want to try to pronounce that?
Caligatios.
Thank you.
Caligatios, which could almost be a new breed of dragon. So boy, there's a lot going on here in this one. It's I love this. Is like he just got back from the gym and he's so tired. It's really cool. I mean, Hiccup's definitely a man in this one, and the lighting is really beautiful.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, it's really evocative of some of the Roger Deakins stuff from the movies, this is a really eye-opening entry, even though Hiccup's eyes are shut. Mine, and I'm sure all the fans are open.
Okay, I really appreciate, though, the way they did the tattoo, where it's not just Astrid's name, it's Astrid's name surrounding the mark of the chief, which I think is amazing.
Good call out there.
The next one is from Lavender Tam. I tweeted this and forgot to put the image. Oh, that's right. This person had tweeted at me, and I looked at it, and there was no picture there, and I thought I was going insane. But then 2 minutes later, they tweeted again and was like, here's the actual picture. So thank you. I believe this one is... this one's a 4-parter.
Oh, wow. Yes, I remember this one. So boy, Hiccup's got some sassy attitude in this one, which I love. The coloring is great, and we really see it's so cool to like have kind of just this very cute kind of twee art style, but also reflecting like serious brutal damage on the character at the same time. It's an interesting, juxtaposition. Hiccup is looking like not to be trifled with here. This is really cool. And I also do like the sequential images that follow that tell a story.
As we move on, this is actually what happens in the Fire Tides, where she finds him. Oh my gosh. I'm a Hickster chipper experiencing things. Oh my gosh.
That is a great kiss.
Cute.
And I love the rain and the lighting, and it's all very, very dramatic here. And it really touched my heart to see this, because, this is a comic that a lot of us, myself included, have been trying to make for a long time. And to see an artist take time out of their life and put so much effort and care into this was really, really meaningful to me. So thank you, Lavender Tam, for this.
Yes. Thank you for the Hickstrid. We needed it. We can always use more Hickstrid. The next one is from Maria Vitora 7 Art. Guys, leave me alone. I imagined him in a hot day watching his family playing. That's so cute.
It's really cute. I'm sort of getting John Krasinski in A Quiet Place vibes here, which I know for a lot of people it would sort of be like dream casting. I think it would be pretty good. Yeah, he just looks like a really cool in shape dad here. I'm very jealous of Hiccup in this image. And yeah, it's again so cool through fan art to see where people imagine the characters wind up after the movies and the shows have ended. So yeah, great job. And Hiccup always looks cool with the beard.
I think the top 2 actors everyone said Hiccup looked like when he got the beard was John Krasinski and Jake Gyllenhaal. So yeah, I can see it.
See that too.
Oh yeah, this was a very, very late entry, but this is one of the whole Haddock family, and I think it's so funny and adorable.
This is a great entry. What a nice surprise in the competition, especially kind of later on. You know, I don't know why there would be a dragon present. It looks like Stormfly, but I don't care. I choose to believe the dragons come back every now and then. So this is just a really, really fun drawing. Great job on the backgrounds too, and I really like Astrid's attitude here. It reminds me a lot of my wife, which is just sort of like patient acceptance. Yeah, and like, well, if the kid breaks a limb, that's on you, Hiccup. So good job. And the tattoos on his chest are really cool.
So thank you, Bopper Bopping. I don't know if I said the name yet or not, but that's an epic name. The next one is from Cater Gator. My submission, my entry for the hashtag shirtless Hiccup competition, featuring one shy guy who doesn't know how attractive he is, not pictured off camera, Astrid wolf whistling. Yes, completely. Thank you for adding that context because it completes everything. Another like standard Hiccup pose, which I think they completely nailed. And I love the background. I love, all of it. It looks awesome.
Completely agree. You know, water is very difficult to draw and to animate, and Cater Gator nailed it. It just really nice sort of transparency and you know, color gradients going on there. And yeah, this is like a really nice Hiccup pose where just the way he's running his fingers through his hair, you know, you feel like he's got something on his mind. He's thinking something, and that's very much in keeping with his character. He's a real dreamboat here too. Very, very attractive Hiccup. So great job, Cater Gator.
Next one is from Wicked Ghoul. Have I read any of the How to Train Your Dragon comics? No. Did I decide to enter the shirtless Hiccup contest anyway? Yes. Enjoy, revel in this shirtless glory. Didn't you get in like a confrontation with this person in the replies?
I wouldn't say confrontation, but Wicked Ghoul, I mean, come on. The whole point of this thing ostensibly was about Dragon comics, and I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into them. And you're like, oh, I didn't read them, but here you go. So, but that aside, this is a very nice entry. I'm willing to look past that terrible life mistake you've made by not reading the comics. I really recommend you give them a shot. I know you said, you know, you have some reasons for why you can't read them. I totally get it. But at the very least, check them out because the art is really, really cool. Doug Wheatley is now a friend of mine. He illustrated the first graphic novel and the little 10-page Burning Midnight story, which is also in Dragonvine. And just do yourself a favor and look at the comics for his art alone. You don't have to read any of my stupid words. But yeah, this is really cool. I love that this artist has done a callback to D2 when Hiccup removes his prosthetic. You know, we're all used to seeing him wearing it, and it looks, I think, pretty cool on him. But I also sort of like that he gets weary of it after a while, and it hurts. And so it's nice to have that. It's always great to have an appearance by Toothless. The freckles are on point, and yeah, just a fine job here.
Yes, it looks amazing. I love the addition of Toothless, and thank you so much for submitting.
Yeah, but read the comics.
The next one is from Anna Agassian.
Yes, that sounds
Let's go
right.
with that. Here it is, Hiccup and Toothless in an underwater cave. The tail fin is broken, and Hiccup is trying to fix it. Nothing comes out. Hiccup is determined to return home to Berg. I think this looks really amazing.
Completely agree. Love this artist's style. Really nice rendering. again, Toothless, a super tough dragon to draw, and Anna has acquitted herself beautifully here. And, she mentions Hiccup's determination in her message, and you really feel it here. And, just kind of the look that Hiccup and Toothless are sharing between each other speaks volumes. So this is a very strong entry. Great job.
And forgive me, this is actually a two-parter, because we have Astrid here with the tattoo of Hiccup, which is so cute. And I saw on Tumblr that this person said that the reason it was placed there is so whenever he hugs her from behind, they would touch. And I'm sorry, but it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And it's a really nice idea. And if we ever make the Fire Tides comic, that is exactly where she's going to get the tattoo. I love the meaning behind it. This is a beautiful drawing. She looks great here. He looks great. Sort of get the sense that like the sun is coming up over the horizon after a really rough, difficult, stormy night for everyone. And again, just this artist, Anna, has a real talent for conveying emotion through the look between two characters. So in the previous image, it was Hiccup and Toothless, and now it's him and Astrid. And I don't know, I really feel the love between them in this drawing. So really strong.
The thing about the first video that we did with you explaining the plot, I don't think a lot of people realized that I was interviewing you, but I was also a fan learning that information for the first time. Normally what happens when I receive new Hickstrid information is I run around my house for 10 minutes and then scream into a pillow. I didn't have the ability to do that during the Fire Tides, so for the entire second half, I'm like actually trembling because I just had so much energy I needed to expend. Nobody judge me.
All things considered, you handled it really well, Audrey. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we got that reaction out of you. That's the whole point, to make people feel things with these stories. So
yes,
all good.
The next one is from Ananda.
Ananda?
I really should have gone through beforehand and figured out how to pronounce all the names, but I didn't even think about it. Anyways, the real challenge was hiding shirtless Hiccup from my parents. This is a part of a larger piece that I'll post soon. I just wanted to post Hiccup ASAP. Thank you for hosting the competition. You're welcome. Thank you for submitting. This one is so cute. The art style is perfect.
Super cute. I would love to see that larger piece when it's done and hopefully is not confiscated by your parents. Sorry, didn't mean to put you in their crosshairs. This is a great drawing, as Audrey said. I really like Hiccup's mood here, and it's just fun with the bubbles and stuff, and not necessarily a moment that we would have seen in the Fire Tides, but we can imagine once he gets back to Burke, one of the things he needs to do after being chief for the day is go home and do laundry. So this is really cool.
Let your imaginations run wild. The next one is from Fell_. First Twitter post is a contribution to the Shirtless Hiccup competition. Another
Yay.
first Twitter user. I am so sorry, but we have another Chad Hiccup. The art style here is not one that I think I've seen before. It's almost like layered images, which I think looks really cool whenever it's like in the final product.
It's really cool, and I love that this artist, a couple of things this artist has done. One, the overall piece is really cool. Love the colors in it. I love that Hiccup is applying, Toothless's ground up scales to use as like fireproof camouflage. That was a detail that we mentioned of the plot of Fire Tides, but also the depiction of the underwater city behind the ruins is so neat. So thank you for doing this.
All right, the next one is from TT
Sorridente. This is a really sharp drawing. Love the design. I'm assuming Hiccup is back on Burke here. He looks like he's been through some stuff and has come out of it all the stronger. Really well composed. Just him standing sort of between that archway there. It's drawing all your attention to him. And also a little lower in the feed there, we see an uncolored version, which is also pretty badass. So great job, TT.
I believe, yep. It's
there
the
it
next
is.
one. It's amazing. And I know that they said that they tried to make Hiccup look edgy in the description, and I think that's like the perfect word to describe him here.
100%.
Wow. Okay, y'all with your Chad Hiccups. The next one is from Baylong. I'm sorry, but someone had to.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yes,
did you?
yes, they did. They did.
You did. I'll later do a shirtless Astrid because I can't be stopped. Okay, just don't tag us in that. Feel free to do whatever you want.
This looks like Hiccup is a Chippendales dancer, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
How to Train Your Dragon Magic Mike Edition. Let's go.
This one's just a ton of fun. I don't know what else to say beyond that. I can't quite tell just because my eyesight is fading. It's almost like a really fine cross hatching that this artist has done.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Really, really love the technique. It's very cool. And yeah, this one is a very memorable entry. So thank you, Beilong.
Yes, thank you. I do really love the art style here. Like, chat aside. It's gorgeous. The next one is from Teddy B. I can't believe you guys are doing this either, which I have another confession to make. I was really afraid that when we started this, no one was going to submit any entries, and you and I were just going to be these two pervs who were like, yeah, let's do a shirtless Hiccup competition, and no one submits. So thank you guys for making
Both
us
things
not
are
look
true.
awful.
You got a lot of entries, and we're still two pervs looking at all of them.
Exactly.
This one is so cool to me. It's really hearkening back to Hiccup's days in the blacksmith forge with Gobber. Love the burn scars. I really like the depiction of the tattoo here and kind of it seems to me like a spiky tail underneath. That's just my interpretation of it. But really, really nice job here. And again, you guys are killing it with the lighting and the shadow and everything. This is hard stuff to do, and just using the glow from the forged sword to light the whole scene is a really inspired choice. And I know that's the kind of stuff that Roger Deakins, who's the cinematography consultant on the movies, he was always looking for those natural light sources in the scenes and to just light the whole scene that way. So a really great way to live up to that legacy.
Teddy B, you're akin to Roger Deakins. So
there you go.
Take that as a compliment. First. The next one is from Lava Bite. Made a Twitter just to join on the shirtless Hiccup competition. All of you guys are making Twitter in the worst time. I apologize. Yeah. But I think it was worth it because this looks awesome. I love how you included the back also to show just how expansive the scars are. Because the burn scars are intense. So I appreciate all the effort that you guys put into this.
Yeah, you feel the pain and the suffering that Hiccup has gone through here, and the fact that he continues on his quest to unite, humans and dragons. It just makes it all the more beautiful for me. And just a nice, smooth, easy art style here. I really like this one. Thank you, Lava Bite.
The next one is from Creature Cultist. Entry for #shirtless Hiccup. Oh, to be canon with your own hyper obsession. Yeah, that's kind of what this whole thing is about, isn't it? What have we done?
Creature Cultist is a very fine artist. Really love all the detail in this one. Almost looks like, I can't quite tell if it was digitally painted or not, but whatever the style is, I love it. Hiccup's expression is really fun here, and just really nice composition with Toothless's tail and the dragon blade, and it's just drawing your eye to the Astrid tattoo.
It's a very creative position to have him in Toothless's tail, so I really love what they did here.
Yeah, and all the detail work on the tail flap, really beautiful stuff here.
This one is from Sensory Influx. I wanted to do this #shirtless Hiccup when I saw Audrey's video, so here it goes. Also, thank you to Richard for the opportunity, and I hope you like my submission. I love both of y'all's content. We love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sensory Influx. Another great entry. Love Toothless photobombing in the background there, sort of. Looks like he's ready to pounce Hiccup without him knowing. And just, again, such a cool, unique interpretation of Hiccup in a different art style. I love seeing this. I know all the people on the filmmaking and TV teams loved seeing this too, because you get so accustomed to seeing these characters day in and day out, the way they look in the shows and the movies. And so when somebody comes in and presents their own style, it's a real breath of fresh air. And I think this is a real successful entry. So great job.
Yeah, I'm blown away how you guys were able to do this. This one came out on October 6th. That was like 2 days after we announced the competition.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. How do you guys... Oh, you guys are amazing. The next one is from Witch's Brew Illustrations. Has your thirst been quenched?
Yes, thank you. You gave us all the shirtless Hiccup we could ever need. We have another trademark pose here with the both of them. Toothless looks adorable. And the detail is just like the way his suit is hanging down at the bottom.
Yeah, like they're just kind of goofing off after hours, which, you know, I think is the way many of us like to see Hiccup and Toothless. I think this one may be the sweetest of all the entries. Like, I just love the friendship between Hiccup and Toothless here. The tattoos look really cool. I love the inclusion of Hiccup's helmet and a flight suit, as you said, Audrey. And yeah, just whenever we get a nice big gummy smile from Toothless, your day is already that much better. So thank you very much for this entry, Witches Brew Illustrations. Great job.
Can I tell you something so embarrassing? So when the first Dragons movie came out, I was in 4th grade, and I loved it so much that when I did my school pictures, I wanted to look like Toothless, so I smiled like this. So in all the pictures that we have of me in 4th grade, I'm smiling like...
What, did the school photographer be like, hey,
No.
do you want to... No, they were just like, all right, next.
They were like, okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
And also,
just
you
grind
could...
through it.
Yeah, you could never ever see my left eye because I cut my bangs exactly the way Astrid's were. So, for like 3 years, that was my style. The next one is from Angelic, who is I think a fan of mine, and I'm a huge fan of hers, because she makes amazing Dragons fan art.
I'm a fan of Angelic's now too. This is a really beautiful drawing of Hiccup, and love his sort of far away look here. His eyes seem really alive, and it feels like he's thinking. He just looks really handsome here. This is a really nice style, and just kind of the injuries you've included on his forearms are they're present but not overpowering. It's really a nice strong piece. Good job.
Yes, thank you. The next one is from Odd Illustration. Shirtless Hiccup, my entry to the competition. Again, the lighting. I don't know how you guys do it. It looks amazing.
This almost looks like it should be like a propaganda poster if they had them back in Burke times. Like, it's so like, if it said join the Burke army, I would sign up right away, because there's a lot of power in this drawing. Just the way he's hefting the hammer, like he's about to strike whatever's there in the anvil. He looks really strong here without being like super bodybuilder Hiccup, which is also fine. It's a different look. But I really, and also just like being able to see the expression on his eyes and in his brows. There's a lot going on here. It's almost deceptively simple, but the lighting and the choice of colors, everything in this works. This is a really top entry. Good job.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a Todd illustration or at Odd Illustration, but whoever you are, great job.
This one is from Clander Droid. I made this Guys, I don't know how many times I can apologize, but thank you anyways. I really love this one. Toothless looks like my cat after like I walk in from recording and she's like, why do you look like that? Why are you wearing stuff on your face?
This one gets the best buds award, you know, like you really just you get all the feels of seeing them play all throughout all the stories. And you know, Hiccup's scars here have a really nice texture to them. I mean, this it seems to me like this artist may have even done a little bit of research on the way different types of scars look.
Yeah.
That really fine job. The Astrid tattoo looks great. And I don't know, I feel like I'm on top of a sea stack in the archipelago right now with these guys. I can like feel the breeze and smell the salt air. Really, thank you, Clanker Droid. This is a real strong one.
And this is actually a two-parter because you get to learn where the scars are from. Wow,
I like how we have confused dragons and not so confused, and and then just a regular shark. Just Hiccup also got bitten by a shark to add insult to injury. Love it.
Probably, yes.
Love it.
The next one is from Micah. Hello, I know it's literally last minute. It's November 17th in Canada, but this is my submission for the competition. Doesn't matter. You killed it anyways. And this looks amazing because it looks like it's from the comic.
Yeah, definitely. And I love kind of the sequential storytelling that's going on here, and I love the line that his line of dialogue. Really cool. I don't know if that's something that I said during our last conversation. I don't think it was. I think the artist just kind of intuited this, and really, really great job. Love all the detail of the undersea background. And I'm assuming, so like in the undersea ruins, like there wouldn't have been necessarily windows or domes, although I know some artists have included those, and I appreciate that. So we wouldn't have necessarily gotten to see the ocean from inside the ruins. They were kind of like in an underwater cave, basically. But we would have seen a lot of them when they were traveling inside the Fathom Fin and through some of the other entry and exit sequences. So it's very cool to see all that reflected here. Good job.
Very on theme.
Yep, for sure.
The next one is from Cordelia, my last minute entry for the hashtag shirtless hiccup competition. There is so much to unpack here. Astra. With the bleeding nose.
Yeah, no, it's nice to get sort of all the bonus behind the scenes materials here. Just seeing like kind of the plan and the thought process that went into that. I'm a real process junkie, so I love seeing things like this. And to top it all off, it's a really great drawing of Hiccup. Again, incredible lighting. He looks really cool here. It's a unique style to this artist that I think is really well suited to Hiccup's character. The tattoos look great. I definitely feel like we're in the cave. It's kind of spooky, but he's still looking like his brave, inquisitive, adventurous self. And then yes, of course, the nosebleed Astrid is a nice little cherry on top. So Cordelia, you killed it. Great job. Thank you for this.
Yes.
And if this is last minute, I would kill to see what you could do with like months and months working on a piece. Really great.
Yeah, we would be in over our heads for sure. This one from Homeboy. Tried my hand at an action shot for the hashtag shirtless hiccup competition. It sounded like I was just saying Homeboy for no reason, but that's their username. Oh my gosh.
Not only did you try your hand, but like you slammed it down like a fist on the success button, whatever. You did a great job is what I'm trying to say. I love this drawing for a few reasons. One, you fulfill the criteria. We've got shirtless Hiccup. You also include Toothless. This is an action shot, which is great. This kind of one of the things we talked about was having the image seem like it could potentially be a panel in the Fire Tides comic. And this seems like it should be not just a panel, but like a 2-page spread of just like a big battle between Hiccup and Drago. And those are the other things I really appreciate about this. The fact that you're able to include not just Drago, but the Tormentipede makes me so happy. Like this really feels like a key moment in the comic. And also the color choice of the fire coming out of the Tormentipede. It's not one I ever would have thought of, and yet that's what makes me love it all the more. And the background work, although some might think it's minimal, it's actually very successful and very evocative. I feel like we're in a subterranean location here. So, and also I really love that Hiccup's got kind of like the sort of the toothless war paint over his eyes. I like the Astrid tattoo, the depiction of it, and the fact that Hiccup's also kind of cobbled together like a little bit of a cloak and sort of like a shoulder pad to aid him in his kind of man-on-man battle with Drago. Really, really smart, really cool style, beautiful colors. A+ Homeboy. Great job.
Yes, everything he just said. Like, how does I can't even talk because I'm so excited. How do people think of like, okay, I'm gonna position it this way, and then I'm gonna add this element, and then kill it like this? I can't wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, and also like just to go back to the colors for a sec, something about it is kind of like an Into the Spider-Verse sort of vibe to it too. So
yes.
Again, it's like seeing a fan bring their interests and their personality and their life and investing it into Dragon's art. Like I feel like that's where How to Train Your Dragon sings, is when we get that interaction between the stories that have been presented and then the fan reactions to those, and when those things collide together successfully as they have here with Homeboy's piece. It's just the coolest, right?
Yes. Looks amazing. The next one is from the Painted Wolf Woman, my entry for the hashtag Shirtless Hiccup contest. I tried a new art style. I'm really happy with how it came out.
Again, really nice composition. You're teaching us a little something here with the Viking compass, and also the fact that you've incorporated the Stormfly colors, I think was a really inspired choice. And I definitely feel like the sweat on Hiccup's brow. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and I really feel that here. And it's nice to see him either blowing off steam at the forge or building something out of necessity. Either way, it's something that Hiccup would do, and a unique style. I know you say it's a new one. I hope you stick with it because I think it's really successful. And thank you for the submission, Painted Wolf Woman. Beautiful.
All right, this one is from Square Friend. Hello, people of Twitter. I joined just for this. Another one who joined.
Yep, we're sorry.
We got more tattoos here, which I really want to get that strike class symbol tattooed on myself someday. If I got any tattoo, it would be that one.
Yeah, and a couple of things here. Really fun style. Again, Hiccup's hair is looking amazing. Wish I had hair like that. This tattoo, out of all the entries, this is the one that to me looks the most like an actual tattoo on flesh. Something about just the way it's rendered, there's a little bit of a sheen on it, and it just really does look like ink that has been put onto skin, as opposed to sort of letters, runes drawn on top of a drawing, if that makes any sense. So, and I don't know, just kind of like the yellow square in the background is kind of keeping the main parts of Hiccup in frame, the parts that we need to see for the purposes of this competition. So really beautifully and nuanced rendering on the skin tone, and just a really fun style to boot. So thank you, Square Friend. Great job. Get off of Twitter as soon as it's humanly possible.
I feel like we need to have like insurance for people because they join Twitter for like emotional damage.
No,
Sorry,
we're not liable for that. Are you kidding? That'll be the end of us.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. All right,
Wow.
The next one is from Hiccup. Here is my try for the How to Train Your Dragon fan art competition. Eager to see the rest of the artwork. The detail in this is blowing me away.
Yeah, and it tells a whole story, doesn't it? Just him holding the burning, I assume it's part of his uniform there.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool, amazing lighting, and I don't know what medium you worked in here. I can't even tell if it's like oil paints or chalk or maybe just some really nice digital painting. But whatever it is, great job, Hiccup. Really feel Hiccup is like a man on a mission here. Great job.
The foggy background too, like that's just the way that it, like the light of the fire, just the lighting on him. It's again Roger Deakins-esque, which
you're right. There's a lot of atmosphere in here, which is very difficult to do, especially in a 2D medium, like comics or just kind of these standalone images. But Hiccup did it.
Oh wow. This one's from Elvis D. Hurley.
Bad Harlow. Yes, very bad. No, but very good too at the same time. Talk about an image that tells a whole story. I don't know that I would be smiling like that as it looks like sutured back together. But
if it was after doing it, come on.
No, maybe. I think Hiccup has some plans for later on. This is great. Love the tattoo. I feel like we're back in Burke and back in Stoic's old place, and Astrid looks amazing here. Love her hairstyle, love the look of concern, but also sort of like an I told you so vibe coming from
Very
her.
Astrid.
And I think this is also I think this speaks to a really beautiful aspect of their relationship, if I can kind of go on a little tangent or runner here, but the fact that she puts him back together again. And I'll just disclose and say, like, I as a guy, I've screwed up and I've gotten hurt, not so much physically, but sometimes emotionally or psychologically. And the woman I love, my wife, is always there to put me back together again. And that's kind of just this amazing strength that she has. And I feel like I know Astrid has it too. I think Astrid's been in more scrapes than anyone, so it makes sense that she would be an excellent field medic, on top of being, incredible chief material too. So you've told us a lot about Hiccup in this drawing. I think you're telling us just as much about Astrid and about their relationship as well. So Elvis, great job here. Thank you for this.
Wow, you just turned a horny art piece into a character study.
Listen,
you're totally right.
Both
you're
things
totally
can be true. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, didn't even think about all that because I was focused on other things. But
Right.
Thank you.
Well, who can blame you? Yeah, and I mean, look, Hiccup looks great here. This is a very hot
and
little drawing.
Astrid looks great too. I appreciate the Astrid inclusions, trust me. This one is from Ray Kin. I made a Twitter for...
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I'm
sorry! How many times do I have to say it?
You should just have an apology flash on screen periodically.
Disclaimer, we did not intend for people to make a Twitter account just for this.
Yeah, Hiccup's looking like a sly, saucy guy with a come hither stare there. He looks great. I love this style. Again, I'm getting kind of manga vibes here, which is always a good thing. Nice shading on his body. I love the fact that so many of the fans have included extra details in the tattoos, little flourishes and kind of things. It's so fun and surprising to see those from where we're sitting. And he looks like a hottie here.
Yeah, Hiccup always looks like a hottie though.
Yeah, great job, Raycan.
Wow, the next one is from Yeenich. Shows her what he did. I don't know. Would they have gotten the tattoos together? I have to assume that they did.
In my mind, and this is not to discount what this artist has done, which is lovely. Your question, Audrey, and this is not anything we talked about before, so this artist, nobody else would know this, but yes, I agree that they would have done it together, kind of like a private ceremony. But I also think that Eric would have been part of it because he would have been the one to apply the tattoos.
Wow.
He's got tattoos.
Wow. I didn't even... Huh. Sorry,
I mean, Hiccup is talented, but I don't know that he could tattoo his own chest, and I think it'd be even harder for Astrid to get her back. I guess they could have tattooed each other, but...
It sounds great. It's just a lot of really questionable fan fictions I've read are going through my mind right now. And I don't really want them to, so let's concentrate on the art. Looks amazing. Yeah. Again, don't know what medium they used, but just I almost want to say digital art, but it looks like an actual picture.
Yeah, it's really painterly. Again, this is this artist's interpretation of Hiccup, which I really love, even though it's a different style from the movies. It's definitely his personality, and just kind of that slightly embarrassed, slightly apologetic, but I hope you really like this expression that he has on his face here. That's really hard and nuanced, and yet this artist has pulled it off astoundingly well. So this is a real special piece. Great job.
On to This one's from Oliver Reed, Working Late in the Forge.
Yes.
The lighting, I can't even. You guys are amazing.
And I
just
assume...
can't say it's so amazing over and over again because I'm genuinely just blown away that people put this much work into it.
Beautiful manga style here. I don't know if this is the same Oliver Reed who's the actor. Probably not, because I think that Oliver Reed died several years ago. But either way, if you want to pursue a career in comics or manga or illustration, you definitely have the chops. This is a great pose for Hiccup. Love Toothless there with the one eye open. The tattoos look great. It looks to me like Hiccup is sweating here. I'm sure a lot of the fans are sweating too as they're looking at this one. Gorgeous lighting. Really, this one's really a top entry. Great job.
And the addition of Toothless is always very welcome.
And just a fun way to include him there. And it's two characters, very minimal background as to say no background, but with the lighting and with the atmosphere and some of these other effects that almost look like sparks or dross coming off the forge, it tells you a story. And this is all all these How to Train Your Dragon is that's all it is. It's one big story, right? It started with Cressida, it's gone through the movies, the shows, the comics, and now kind of the story is really in the hands of the fans, and seeing how you guys are contributing to it is really mind-blowing. So I feel so privileged to be able to see all this stuff.
Me too. Oh my gosh, the fan favorite. A lot of people really loved this one. This one is from Martina. Her take on the shirtless Hiccup competition.
Yeah.
Okay. We love this one.
This is an amazing illustration. It does several things successfully. I mean, it meets all the criteria. We have the tattoo, we have the scars. Some of them, even with the sheen on it, look like, I don't know, like it could have been from the silk spanners or something. But the setting, I feel like we're really in the ruins, and just Hiccup's pose here. He's so pensive. He's so his eyes are showing a lot of concentration. There's almost sort of like a little bit of apprehension about what he needs to do next, and yet he needs to do it. I realize I'm probably projecting a lot onto here, but I just do feel like this could very, very easily be a panel from the comic, and an important panel, because I think, like we talked about, Hiccup being a pacifist, when he goes into battle, he doesn't do it lightly. We need to see those moments where he's really wrestling with it privately before he engages Drago in the final confrontation. And this feels like one of those crucial moments for that story, and ultimately for Hiccup's character. So there was like a huge boom over here. I don't know if it was an earthquake or something. Hey, it is an exclusive. Wow. You're going to watch Richard die while he's talking about this drawing.
The artwork was so good that even the earth couldn't take it.
I felt the earth move. Yeah. I don't know. I could just go on and on about this one, but Martina, you did a great job. The fan reactions are just justified and deserved. Yeah, definitely. Excellent stuff. You too, if you wanted to do pursue a career in comics, I think you would be very successful. And I also think there's a lot of Doug Wheatley in this one. He's the guy who illustrated. That was
what I was going to say, is how accurately it looks to the previous comics, which is why it's a favorite of mine for sure.
It definitely fits into his style, but I just want to kind of give you sort of a very long-winded extra compliment here, Martina. Doug Wheatley's super talented artist, and before he did the Dragons comics, he did Star Wars once. He had this huge career, but when he came onto Dragons, he was a huge Dragon fan, so he wanted to do the comics, so it felt like a really great get for a bunch of reasons. But when he first started drawing the comics, he was having a really hard time with them, and it was making that translation from the 3D CG animated characters to 2D comics. And so he kind of grappled with it and had a few swings at it, and it just wasn't working with it. It just wasn't working out. So I put him in touch with POV, the production designer of the movies, who's a great artist, obviously, and also a comics fan. And they had a nice conversation. And that conversation was crucial for Doug to understand how to draw the characters. So once he started drawing it after that, it came to him like that. So it was a big process. And so the whole point of this very long-winded ramble that I just shared is that Martina was able to figure all that stuff out on her own.
Yes.
So good job, Martina.
And in such little time. Again, this was October 7th.
Yeah.
This was like a few days after we announced it. I cannot comprehend the talent and the skill that is needed to make something like this. So we really appreciate your effort. The next one is from Ari Akari Yada. Super rushed entry for Audrey and Richard, the hashtag shirtless Hiccup competition. Literally the only reason you joined Twitter, we get it. I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
Well, thank you for joining Twitter just to give us this.
This is a really cool one. It's very minimalist, I guess, because of the rush, but that's okay because it keeps the emphasis on Hiccup. Again, a really cool style. His hair looks very cool. I'm kind of obsessed with Hiccup's hair today. That's all your guys' fault. And yeah, the tattoos look great. The lighting is really on point. Great job.
So the next one is from Mika. Something different for a change, #shirtless hiccup. And this is actually a two-parter. This is I'm assuming the sketch outline of her design. And this is the finished product, and it looks so cool.
Yep, love this one. It's Hiccup Burning Midnight, if I may. And, I love the inclusion of sort of all his sketches and notes. I think there's a lot of Da Vinci in Hiccup. That was always the sense I got from him. And I feel that in this illustration here, and just also like the fun detail of him kind of clamping the pencil between his teeth. He's like a guy who's not fussy. He just works and gets the job done. And if things don't work out, he goes back to the drawing board. So this is a really, really cool entry. Thank you, Mika.
And the next one is from Rady herself. Again, a super rushed entry. If you're familiar with Leffy and Rady, Leffy does more cartoon inspired designs, and Rady does extremely detailed. I love the lighting in this. It just looks this is gonna sound so stupid. It's very Hiccup. He's just like smiling, and I feel like this is how he would be if he was just hanging out.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's stupid at all. The lighting, the color, and he just feels like really alive here and three-dimensional. His personality is coming through. Again, I love the dragon wing tattoos on the back. Really, really nice kind of 1-2 punch with the earlier sketch version and this one. So great job, guys.
The next one is from Tauntaun. #shirtless hiccup, last minute entry. Please make an Astrid version. I suck at male anatomy. I tried my best.
Hey, it looks pretty good to me.
It looks great.
Yeah, his back in particular, those are really hard to draw, and you've done a great job, Tauntaun. I love Hiccup's gaze here. It's definitely the gaze of a leader who has to make some difficult decisions, but also of a dreamer. The tattoos look good. Everyone really likes that Strike Class logo, which is kind of fun to see incorporated here. And the scars are they're there. It's like this roadmap of sort of all the life experiences he's had up until this point. And I think kind of the background design is kind of cool too. It's very moody and sort of ominous. So I like this one a lot.
I feel like of all the Chad Hiccups that we've seen like so far and will continue to see, this one kind of represents more what I feel like his canon anatomy would be, because I feel like he's very slender, but he's also fit because of dragon writing. So I think this looks very accurate, in my opinion.
I think that's a fair point. This
one is from Ivy Georgie. My last minute entry. It does not look last minute at all. It looks fantastic. It looks like you took the set from the film and just drew around it almost, even though I know that this is all your own creation. But Hiccup looks amazing. The lighting, again, perfect for the Forge.
Yeah, I mean, I can't add much more than that other than, I feel like we're on Burke, and seeing it represented in a different way, different time of day. Love this, that everyone keeps calling back to, Hiccup's apprenticeship in the blacksmith stall. And it's cool. Like, that's always going to be part of his character. And I love this idea that, at least in my mind, when he gets stressed out and needs to blow off steam, he'll just go back there and work it out on a piece of iron or something. It's kind of like his workout, So beautiful, and just beautiful lighting and fire effects. You guys are so crazy talented. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's insane. All right, the next one has kind of a strange format because I had to go to Tumblr to get it, but regardless, this one's from Euphoratooth. My submission, I hope I'm not too late. Your submission looks amazing.
Love the tattoo designs here. They feel very Viking, and Hiccup's expression here is really fun. It's like someone who's kind of proud of an accomplishment, but not a jerk about it. The lighting is lovely, and also I just really am so taken with the inclusion of, it looks to me like it's like soot on his body from either dragonfire or being in the forge, but either way, like, you know that Hiccup is not a ruler who just hides behind a throne all the time. Like, he's out there on the field, he's doing stuff, he's leading by example, and that really comes across in this this artwork. So Euphoric Tooth, excellent job.
Thank you so much. Okay, what did we say earlier? Chippendale's Magic Mike Addiction? Yeah. Well, first off, tattoo looks like a legitimate, like, tribal tattoo, so that looks incredible.
Yeah.
This one's from Kaiser Insanity. Sorry, my eye did not go to the username first.
I'm glad your friends told you to do this. Give them all a hug, because something really cool came out of that. Yeah, I mean, Hiccup is jacked here, which is really fun to see. And I agree with Audrey, like, the tattoo is such a standout here, and it feels like, I have some friends who have tattoos, and it always starts with one, right? But I don't think I have any friends that have just one tattoo. Like, they get a tattoo and they're happy with it, and they get another and they get another, and it becomes a collection, right? And so I feel like I sort of see that collection kind of happening on Hiccup here, where in my mind it starts with Astrid and the toothless tattoos, and now he's starting to include all these other different components to it. And I imagine with enough time and a long enough life, I mean, it could wrap around his back and back on his torso, and it's kind of a neat way to sort of, like, tell elements of Hiccup's life journey as ink on his body. It feels like a real Viking thing to do. So this one is very cool, and he's got a very intense, very smoldering look in his eyes. Yeah, he's quite the catch here.
And finally, the last submission is Atticus. Let's hope not every tropical island has a death song. Last minute entry for the contest. Well, I love the death song inclusion. A little tide erased to the edge. But aside from the description, the artwork, phenomenal. The tattoo is so creative. It's kind of what you were talking about before, wrapping around his body.
Yeah.
And there's just, especially in the face, so much, like, there's so much nuance to these later entries that get more detailed, like the freckles and the shading, and even the inclusion of Toothless in the background. I think it's super well done.
Yeah, there are so many layers to this illustration. Not just technique-wise, but I'd say, like, emotionally too. I mean, again, it's like amazing how one look from one character can kind of evoke an entire story, and I really feel like all of Hiccup's life leading up into this moment, and here he's weighing his options. I feel like if there was a word balloon on here, he'd be saying, like, damn it or something, because it's like he's got to do something he doesn't want to do, but it's the right thing. And this style is lovely. Reminds me a little bit of a comic artist I like named Tom Derenick. But this one is really beautifully realized with the colors and the lighting, and the tattoo is so cool. I mean, that's some major commitment for Astrid, where it's not just the name, but he's going to do an entire serpent around his body. So very cool, and I really like Toothless here and what he's doing. So if this was the last entry, what an amazing up note to end on.
Absolutely. All right, Richard, I think we've made our decision, have we?
We have not an easy decision to make. I know everyone says that in every competition, but it's 100% true of this one. I mean, just going through all these drawings again with you, Audrey, and by the way, thank you for running this whole competition, for coordinating all this, for compiling all the artwork. I mean, that's a major job.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
you did it all out of the goodness of your heart and for the fandom, and I really appreciate it. I get the easy job. I just get to pop in here and talk, which I love to do. So yes, very difficult decision to reach, because you guys are all so darn talented, and also just like such different types of talent, different art styles, different techniques. different thoughts, different approaches. I mean, this was a difficult decision to make, but also just a really fun process. So thank you. Everyone should be super proud of themselves for having the guts to enter, and then for having talent on top of that, and just know that, like, you know, canon or not canon, you guys have made incredible and lasting contributions to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. I will always remember them. I'll always carry them with me, and they're always going to be out there. And yeah, thank you for giving so much of your time and your talent to all of us. I really appreciate it.
So for the line art category, our favorite is from Novelty. We really love this one. Again, just the way that it fits into the story of the Fire Tides, we feel that it deserves to be the winner of the sketches.
Yes, congratulations, Novelty. You are very talented. We love this one for all the reasons we described before, but again, like, on top of including all the important details, you're also giving us a little bit of insight into Hiccup's character and emotional state at this moment in his life. Not an easy thing to do, and yet you make it look easy in this drawing. So great job, and congratulations again, and thank you.
And for the detailed entries, we decided to do an honorable mention goes to Homeboy for the absolutely insanely amazing job that you did here.
Yeah, sort of in the kind of like a most inventive, most creative category. Just the colors, the composition, the inclusion of Drago and the Tormentipede, seeing Toothless in there, and just like Hiccup's overall kind of super kick-ass, almost Road Warrior, post-apocalyptic kind of look here. Like this was just kind of like, I just feel like the energy shooting out of this this piece, and all that energy started with you, Homeboy. So thank you and congratulations. I would I would have loved for this to have been a 2-page spread in the Fire Tides, but it is a 2-page spread in my heart. So thank you.
And finally, the grand prize winner that will be deemed within the fandom as Canon Shirtless Hiccup. The prize goes to Martina. Thank you so much, and it is completely deserved.
Yeah, it's what an honor to have this part of our fan canon here, and just How to Train Your Dragon canon in general. So this one was an early favorite, and so maybe the selection doesn't seem that surprising, but I think there's a reason, or several reasons, why this was an early favorite. And kind of like as we discussed before, on top of being beautifully drawn and something that feels like it could fit seamlessly into the Dragon graphic novels, again, it's just like that emotional state and that really deep look on Hiccup's face. And I just really feel his thought process here. I feel the kind of his brain thinking. I feel his heart breaking as he contemplates having to give up his very important pacifism to do something that's for the greater good of not just his tribe, but all tribes. And there's just so much going on here. And for one artist to convey all of that in one drawing is really something worthy of celebration. And it's that just really gave this one the edge above all the other phenomenal entries in this category. So congratulations, Martina. And I really hope you stick with your illustration and work in comics. I would be honored to work with you. And yeah, this is just a beauty.
Richard, thank you so much for joining me once again. It was a pleasure to have you on my channel, and thank you to all the amazing artists out there who contributed. You make the Dragons fandom totally amazing.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, fans. This has just been a joy from start to finish, and I really appreciate the positive and encouraging and artistic spirit throughout. Feels very, very true to the spirit of the Dragon franchise. So thank you all.
If you want to check out Richard's other work, the links to all of his works will be in my description below, including Fear Book Club and the Scoop installments, so check them out and support them if you can. And Dean, if you ever see this, just know, blame Richard.
He usually does.